In the Gospel accounts, we find many interesting things that adds credibility to them. Embarrassing details about Jesus and the apostles that definitely aren't the way to go if wanting to sell a religion in ancient days are one of them. Another one that is interesting are undesigned coincidences. And we find a nice handful of them between the four Gospel accounts. Sometimes they are filling in with details for one another where a piece of the puzzle is missing. And as renowned New Testament scholar and atheist Bart Ehrman says,
we have all of these sources of information. I mean, you have these four Gospels, but these four Gospels are based on earlier sources that were all independent of each other,
Now, some of you may be familiar with the term undesigned coincidences in the Gospels, and some of you may not. But either way, in this video, I'm going to show you one example that I just happened to discover while I was preparing my manuscript for another video. After doing some cross-referencing, I noticed what is an undesigned coincidence when Jesus was standing trial in front of the high priest Caiaphas after being arrested. Not at all saying though that for 2000 years of Christian history, nobody discovered this before I came around. I highly doubt that. I'm just telling you how I discovered it. So with that out of the way, let's look at this undesigned coincidence. Let me read Matthew chapter 26, verse 65 through 68. And this is right after Jesus dropped a big divine I am and claiming to be the Son of Man and cloud rider from Daniel 7:13. And I quote, "Then the high priest tore his clothes and declared, 'He has blasphemed. Why do we still need witnesses? Now you have heard the blasphemy. What is your verdict?' They answered, 'He is guilty and deserves death.' Then they spat in his face and struck him with their fists. And some slapped him, saying, 'Prophesy for us, you Christ. Who hit you?' Now, when reading this last part in Matthew alone, it's a bit strange. Why slap someone in the face and then say, 'Prophesy, who hit you?' I mean, it was you. You're standing right there. Or it was him. He's standing right there. Kind of saw the hand coming from miles off. I mean, you get the point. These are thoughts in a puzzle one sit left with after reading that passage in Matthew. And here's where it gets interesting. This strange little puzzle we have going on in Matthew is clarified in the Gospel account of Mark, chapter 14, verse 65. Mark includes a clarifying detail on this that Matthew left out. And I quote, "Then some began to spit on him, and to blindfold him, and to strike him with their fists, saying, 'Prophesy.' The guards also took him and beat him." Aha! That's a clarifying detail. They blindfolded Jesus. Now it makes sense when reading Matthew why those people who were hitting Jesus in the face were saying, "Prophesy, who hit you?" Side note, even if he could, I don't think he would have, since he didn't answer any of his accusers in front of the Sanhedrins before this. But do you see it? The mentioned detail about Jesus being blindfolded in Mark that Matthew left out does explain when reading Matthew why those people who were hitting Jesus in the face said and did what they did without expecting Jesus to just look at them and give one of the obvious reactions I acted out before. So there you have it. That was just one example of undesigned coincidences in the Gospels. Until I see you in the next video,